What's up guys, I'm Josh Mosman. Welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 162, presented by O'Neill Racing. It has been a crazy time in January for Supercross racing here in California. 2 mudders and a dry race at Anaheim 1. Now we're hoping and praying for a dry race this weekend at Anaheim 2, but the mud has made for some serious excitement in both 250 and 450 classes. We're going to talk about that here. 3 different winners in 250, 3 different winners in the 450, and that means 3 different riders with the red plate as well. So exciting times there. Also in this video, we're going to talk about the new Ducati Desmo450. Pretty exciting stuff with that bike coming out, and we're going to preview the upcoming Anaheim 2 Supercross happening this weekend back in Angel Stadium. Also, we got some clips from Glen Helen Raceway last week. We did some testing on some really cool bikes and products. Let's get into it. Starting off with the 250 class, man, it was chaos in San Diego, and it always is in Supercross season, but man, the mud makes it even harder. Totally different than San Francisco, because in San Francisco it was raining all week leading up to it. Even though they had the track covered, it was still soaked into the dirt. There was no hard pack or no hard base in San Francisco. It was just mud all the way through. Bikes were getting stuck, and it was a survival of keeping your bike on 2 wheels and making it to the finish line. Not so dangerous. There weren't really any injuries in San Francisco because of that. But when you get to San Diego, the track had a hard base. It was built in good weather. They did free practice. The track was great. And then the rain started to come down during the qualifying session. It went for about 4 hours of pretty consistent rainfall and turned to a muddy mess on top, but it still had a hard base underneath it. And that's what allowed the riders to still hit jumps and navigate the track pretty fast. But as a rider, that is the scariest type of Supercross. It's much scarier to race in San Diego than it would have been to race in San Francisco, because it's much more dangerous for the riders to hit the jumps with grease all over the lips, landing in ruts, taking off in ruts, and having riders go zigzag across the track, whether they're doing the jumps or not. So much more dangerous in San Diego and much more nerve-wracking to be a rider. In the 250 class, Nate Thrasher bounced back after DNF at the first round and after an 18th in San Diego to win his first round of the year. So congratulations to him. But the heartbreaker goes out to Garrett Marchbanks. Man, Garrett Marchbanks and the Club MX Yamaha team. It's a satellite supported Yamaha team, not a factory team, and he's on the podium for the 2nd week in a row. 3rd in San Francisco, in the lead, in first in San Diego. He won his heat race. He was leading the 250 main event before he got caught behind a lap rider. It was a one-line situation. Lapper bobbled, he bobbled, trying to not crash and hit the lap rider, and that's what allowed Nate Thrasher to get by him. Then even after Nate Thrasher passed him, the lapper held up Garrett once again in the next corner. So tough break for Garrett, but proud of him. In the interview we did with him after the race, he held his composure and was super respectful, humble about it, and I gotta appreciate Garrett Marchbanks for his attitude. After that, he could have been really mad, but he took it like a champ, and I'm sure he was happy to be on the podium again. Jordan Smith, he did extend his points lead in the championship because his rivals finished behind him. Levi Kitchen went down while battling for the lead. RJ Hampshire, he went down on the last lap. He was in 3rd. He gave up that 3rd spot to Jordan Smith. So now in the championship, Levi Kitchen is 8 points behind Jordan Smith in 2nd. Garrett Marchbanks, he's in 3rd place, 10 points behind Smith. And RJ Hampshire, he is now 13 points behind 4th place in this championship. 450 class was full of drama front to back, but I don't think anybody was disappointed by seeing Aaron Plessinger get the win on his Red Bull KTM after crashing out of the lead last year with a lap and 1 corner to go at the Detroit Supercross. For me, it was fun to do a little walk and talk interview with Aaron Plessinger, going from the press conference to the pits. If you haven't seen it yet, you can see it on our YouTube channel. Fun times with him. He did have some pressure though, coming from Cooper Webb late in the race. Cooper did have some hindrance with Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac mixing it up. Sexton and Tomac obviously are not used to being a lap down. Sexton moved out of the way easily for Aaron Plessinger. I don't think he meant to get in Cooper Webb's way. It's really not a good look if he did, and it just would be kind of a stain on his career and a stain on his season if he did that on purpose. But obviously with how one-line the track was, he didn't do a great job of getting out of Cooper Webb's way, and that caused some separation between AP and Cooper. Also Eli Tomac, he was a lap down and he was racing. He did not let his teammate by, which was kind of surprising, but at the same time, you know, those guys aren't used to being a lap down. They are used to lapping riders though, so you would think it'd be easier to figure out, but they're racing for a championship, racing for points. Even though they're going to lap down, it's just chaos earlier in the season. They're doing everything they can to stay up front. So now in the championship, Aaron Plessinger, he's got the points lead. He's the 3rd different winner and also the 3rd different rider to have the red plate. Chase Sexton is 1 point behind in the championship. Jet Lawrence, he moved up to 3rd in the championship. Jet Lawrence moved up into 3rd in the championship, 4 points behind Aaron Plessinger. passenger, Jason Anderson, he is tied with Cooper Webb and Dylan Ferrandis. They're all tied for 4th in the championship, 11 points behind AP. Eli Tomac, he's 12 points back in 7th, and Ken Roczen, he is now 18 points back in 8th after going down while leading at San Diego. So heartbreak for Kickstart Kenny. We're excited to see how they all bounce back this weekend at Anaheim too. It's a Triple Crown race, which means it's going to be great for Jorge Prado, and that's why he's actually staying around for one more round. Obviously, had fun in the mud the last 2 weeks, but he's looking for a dry race to get more experience racing Supercross. So he will be racing one more round this weekend at Anaheim too. Excited to see how he does in that 450 class. Also interested to see what happens between Jet Lawrence and Jason Anderson. It's kind of fun to follow the drama as it unfolds on social media. Obviously, Jet was not happy with Jason after the race. He called him over, and they both did some yelling after the race. It got caught on TV. It made for some drama. AMA charged them both $1,000. That $2,000 is going to go to the Alpine Stars Mobile Medical Unit, so they benefit from those guys having some unsportsmanlike conduct after the race. Also, Jason Anderson posted some interesting stuff on social media after the race as well, talking about the incident, and representatives from Honda apologizing to Jason for what happened. So interesting stuff. It only makes it more exciting going into Anaheim too. It's obviously not great for the role models to be doing that kind of stuff on live TV and in front of a packed stadium of fans, but it does make things interesting for our sport. So excited for A2, see what happens next. Next up, we got the big news. The Ducati has released their new 450 motocross bike, the Desmo450, and it has confirmed a lot of our questions, but there's still more questions to figure out as we go along here. It does look a lot like a Honda, and the frame is almost identical to Honda. Last week's video, we pointed out that the Desmo450 was using Honda plastics in some of the teaser photos that Alessandro Lupino shared. The chassis even looked like a Honda CRF 450 in some of the photos that we could kind of zoom in on, and now we can confirm that it does look a lot like a Honda 450. As of right now, there's no reports that they are actually officially working together with Honda. We kind of suspected that it might be a Fantic / Yamaha deal, where Fantic, if you guys know, in Europe, they are able to buy bikes from Yamaha, they modify them and sell them as their own brand, Fantic. They do have a deal with Yamaha though, to where they can't ship Fantic motorcycles here to the US. We've tried a couple times to get Fantic bikes over here to test them because they're ultra exotic looking and just pretty cool bikes and would just be a fun bike to test. So they have a partnership, Fantic and Yamaha do, to only sell bikes in Europe. Honda and Ducati, we don't know of that yet. The chassis does look like a copy from Honda. There's no official word if they're buying frames from Honda yet or not, but it does look very, very similar. Honda obviously has been super successful with Jet Lawrence, Chase Sexton over the last few years, and it's interesting to see them introduce their new factory prototype with a chassis that looks very similar. But this is not the production Ducati that you'll be able to buy, and it's going to be a while until you can buy a Ducati 450 because they're racing this factory prototype starting in Italy in March this year. They might do some MXGP rounds, which is a production, not a production, it's a prototype championship. So anybody can sign up on any bike as long as it meets the requirements. It's not a production-based championship like we have here in the AMA, where your bike has to be available for sale to the privateers, to the public, and everybody else. So because of that, Ducati's going to race in Italy this year. They're going to work out the kinks in the Italian Championship. They might do some MXGP rounds, and then next year, 2025, they will be racing the MXGP World Championship. And then in 2026, that's when we expect them to come here and race Supercross and Motocross. They say that production will not start on the stock Desmo 450 until mid-2025. So this frame that does look like a Honda right now, it could change before Ducati is available for sale. Lots of things could be moving and changing throughout the development of this prototype. But either way, exciting stuff. Learn more about it on our website. Check out the photos. I'm excited to ride it, and hopefully we'll be spinning some laps on it soon. Also, want to give a shout out to the winner of the MXA Fantasy League app from the San Diego Supercross. He was El Scotto, who scored the top amount of points on the MXA Fantasy League app. Congratulations, El Scotto, for San Diego. He won an Arai VX Pro 4 helmet. Pretty cool prize to win there. This weekend for Anaheim 2, we're giving away a DRD exhaust system. If you guys haven't signed up yet, free to download, free to play. Get it in the App Store on Android or on iPhone. We have some epic end of the year prizes as well. We're giving away a Triumph 250 to the winner, Maxxis tires for your van, truck, or car to the rider, not the rider, but the player who finishes second in the Super Motocross Championship. So after all 31 rounds, second place will get the Maxxis tires, and third place will get a $500 giveaway shopping spree to Boyson to get your 2-stroke or 4-stroke dialed in with some awesome performance products from Boyson. So epic prizes we're giving away. Dubach Racing, this weekend at Anaheim too. Get signed up now to play to win. In other news, the MXA test riders have a lot of upcoming bike tests coming soon. We're riding the new KTM Factory Edition on Thursday this week, so if you have any questions about the Factory Edition and some stuff that you want us to talk about in our first ride video this week, let us know in the comments down below. Also, stay tuned to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified when we release new videos, because we will be testing that KTM 450 Factory Edition and sharing all we know about it this week. So excited for that one. Also, the Triumph 250. Sounds like we're going to be riding it late February in Florida, so excited to share that with you guys as well. If you have questions about it, leave it down in the comments. Looking forward to that. Another news, we did a lot of testing at Glen Helen last week. Let's head there now and talk about what we did. All right, guys, so busy day at Glen Helen. It's nobody's on the track yet, so nice and quiet so far, but we got a lot of different projects going. So Josh Fout, Randall Fout, they're gonna be working on the KX450 over here. We have a brand new Pro Circuit exhaust system for it. KX450, a little down on horsepower and a little down on excitement, so excited to throw this thing on there. And that's Josh and Randall's project, 2024 KX450. Josh Hawley, he's gonna be riding this bike, putting some more time on the hydraulic clutch and the MX Tech suspension, more of a low-key test over there. I got the YZ250 today, 2024, and I'm gonna be testing with FCP and Chris Palm, doing some engine mounts. And that bike, YZ250, Connor Steyer's is gonna be riding it. We're doing a little photo shoot with O'Neill, and Trevor's doing that. And then Trevor's also filming Nixon DeRico and James Ellis riding our new 2024 Husky 65. They're gonna compare the new 65 versus the old 65. So what is that, like 10 different tests going on at the same time? Justin Lee's coming out. We're also remapping our KTM 250 and 300 two-strokes. Jamie Ellis is coming to do that. And we got a Pro Circuit pipe and an FMF pipe to try on those. And we also have optional engine mounts for the KX450. I think FCP's bringing some. And then the optional ones that Kawasaki makes new for 2024, we're gonna try those on there as well. So I think that's it. You're working overtime, Jamie?
Man, I'm putting ECUs on everything right now.
Give us a rundown of what you're doing today. You got your boy out here.
Yeah. So James is out riding the new Husky 65, so that's really cool, and it's the first time like doing any testing or anything like that, so that's fun. We mapped the 250 two-stroke KTM 24. We mapped the 300 24. We're gonna put some maps in for this Pro Circuit pipe.
On the KX450?
On the 24 KX450, so we're just sending it every which way to Sunday.
Yeah, isn't there like a race or something you're supposed to be getting ready for today?
Yeah, those guys are sorted.
They're good?
Yeah.
Nice. Big difference.
Like way nicer.
Yeah. Josh Fout.
What up?
What's happening, man? It's a busy day.
It is a busy day. Two strokes, mapping, ECUs. Now we're going KX 450, ECU, and pipe. Wide open.
How was it so far?
So far, so good. Jamie has worked his magic. He's super impressed every time, but especially on the 300. He made it so quick, but still rideable. I'm kind of in love a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, San Diego Supercross, it's wet and dry. San Diego Supercross is wet, and we just got done with, what do you call it, devotion?
Yeah, afternoon devotion, next level.
Afternoon devotion with the next level Panicrev team. So Panicrev's tied in with you guys a little bit. Chris Magala, team owner, team manager, and they got a pretty awesome setup in the pits. So your pastor just did the afternoon devotion today.
Yep.
And you did it last weekend in San Francisco.
I did it last week, and you're doing it next weekend at A2.
Exactly. A2 next weekend. So
yeah, and then we got some heavy hitters on. Shane McElrath's going to do it for us.
Really?
Freddie Norton's going to do it for us.
I like it.
Dan McGranahan, the man, is going to do it for us.
I like it.
Yeah, we're just trying to bring different perspectives together. Always the gospel, always the love of Jesus in different ways and from different paths. And yeah,
that's awesome.
Trying to spread a good word here.
So you guys got what, 5 or 6 riders on the team?
We got 5 riders on the team.
5 riders on the team. and you guys are going to all 17 rounds of Supercross.
We are.
In the 450 class.
Yep.
And you do afternoon devotions around 3:30.
It's usually about 2 hours before the night show.
Okay, so what? Next weekend, do you know what time?
Next weekend it'll be about 3:30. We always put it up on a board.
Yeah.
Outside the pit area, but
so
if people show up about 3, you'll be covered.
You'll be good. Anaheim 2 next weekend. Open to everybody. It's like a team devotion for their team, sponsors, friends, family.
It's for everybody.
But they got a speaker, so everybody's involved. Everybody's welcome.
And we always feed everybody afterwards.
And you feed everybody.
So
that's a bonus.
Come hear about Jesus and get some food.
And it's expensive to buy food here, so that's an extra bonus. All right, hope to see you guys there at Anaheim 2 next weekend. All right, guys, that's it for this week in MXA, episode number 162, presented by O'Neill Racing. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.